Hey guys, it's Shannon. Welcome back to my channel. I have another wood sign tutorial for you today, and I had noticed several viewer comments saying that they had missed my wood sign tutorials because I used to post them pretty frequently, and I will link a playlist down in the description box below where you will be able to see over 70 tutorials that I've created making wood signs. So make sure to check that out after this video. However, today's tutorial is completely different from any of the wood signs that I've made previously. I'm actually going to be using MDF and 1x2s in a way that I haven't before. I'm really excited to share this tutorial with you, so let's get started with the project. Look at the MDF sheet that I purchased. It was 2x4 size and 1/4 inch thick. I cut mine down to 40 inches long to fit my space, and here I'm measuring to make sure that I had cut it to 40 inches long so that I could cut my 1x2s down for the frame. I'm using pine board for the 1x2s here. These are not furring strips, they're the nicer pine board, so they will give a nice frame at the end. Once I had those cut, I just sat them on the top and bottom of the MDF so that I could measure for the end pieces. Again, I'm using 1x2s here and just using my miter saw to cut them down to size. I am sanding all of the frame pieces down with 80 grit sandpaper. I also did a quick sanding on the MDF just to make sure I had a clean and smooth surface for when it came time to apply the vinyl. Now it's time to stain the framing pieces. I'm using dark walnut by Minwax for this, and it is an oil-based stain. So once I had all the pieces completely covered, all the tops, bottoms, sides, and ends of the framing pieces, I let them sit overnight to dry and cure before I framed out the sign. Next, I finally got to use my new paintbrush, which is a chalk paintbrush, which one of my viewers had recommended. I will have that linked down below. You can check my Amazon store to find that. And then, of course, I'm using my favorite chalk paint by Waverly in just a white paint. And I'm going back and forth, making sure to do even strokes and even coats of the chalk paint all over the entire MDF board. I did end up doing 2 coats of the chalk paint because MDF does like to soak up the paint quite a bit. So after the first coat dried, then I went back and did a second coat of the chalk paint. Next day I was able to frame the sign, so I sat the MDF board up on some staining cans to give it some height so I could clamp my frame pieces around the edges, and I'm also using some wood glue here just to add some extra security, and I just put each piece onto the MDF and clamped the edges down and worked my way around the board. Once I had all of the frame pieces clamped into place, I used my brad nailer and 3/4 inch brad nails to tack down the frame. I just added a few until I was able to remove the clamps, flip the board over, and then I added several more brad nails just to make sure I had everything nice and secure and in place. time to work on the edges of the MDF, which were still visible once I added the frame pieces. So I sanded those down to get any extra paint off before adding some of the same wood stain in the dark walnut color, and that helped the MDF blend into the wood sign frame. My silhouette cameo to create the design. I just used Arial font for this quote, and I set my machine on ratchet blade depth at 3, speed and force at 10 before sending it over to my silhouette cameo to cut the vinyl. I used a matte black vinyl, and that is by Oracle in number 651. Great thing about the silhouette cameo is that it will cut your design as long as you want. However, it will only cut 12 inches wide, and because my design was so large, I had to cut it into 2 separate parts here. So this is the first one, and once I had all of the excess vinyl weeded out, then it was time to apply it to the sign. And this is the most asked question on my channel, and that is, what transfer tape do I use? And I use this clear laminate, which is from Walmart. It's by Duck brand, and it's got a little bit too much tackiness to it, so I always cut it to size, and then I get some of the tackiness off by laying it on my counter a couple times to remove some of the tackiness before I apply it on top of my vinyl. This is definitely a project you want to take your time with, because it's really easy to get something caught or peel something off or rip something, and you just really want to take your time. And once you have your vinyl on your transfer sheet, you can line it up and center it and get it where you want it on your wood sign before using your squeegee to completely transfer your design onto the board. We're just going to repeat the entire process again with that second half to complete the saying on this large wood sign. To hang this wood sign, I used these D hooks, which you can also find at Walmart. I like these for bigger, heavier pieces because they are absolutely secure, and you know they're not going to pop off once they're hanging on the wall. So I just placed mine about an inch down from the top, and you want to make sure you're staying close to the edge because that's where your wood frame is, which is where you want your screws to be secured into. And here is a look at the finished large framed farmhouse wood sign that is just so beautiful in our farmhouse style living room. Thank you all so much for joining me for today's tutorial. I'm so happy with the way this wood sign turned out. I think it'd be so cute if I hung a wreath right in the middle as well. So lots of different options with as far as styling it. So I'm looking forward to changing it up as the seasons and the holidays change. I hope that this tutorial inspired you. Make sure to give it a thumbs up for me. If you have any questions about this project at all, you can leave those down in the comments below for me. And I do try to help everybody and answer questions as much as I possibly can. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I bring you DIYs, tutorials, and new inspiration every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on my YouTube channel, The Daily DIYer. Thank you all so much again for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.